Okay, let's look at the Mono Masters. This is a 3 LP set that has the packaging that formatted like the Beatles at the BBC, a triple gatefold. And I just opened this up, so I haven't really had a chance to look at too much of it. But it's got all of the singles in here, and let's see. Oh, it says here, the tracks on Mono Masters come from a variety of sources, including single and EP tracks, so it was necessary to compile a new analog master tape. To avoid the risk of damaging the original masters by removing the tracks from their original reels and then returning them, these tapes are copied to a new cutting master created for this release. The master tapes for Love Me Do were not kept, so a digital copy of a vinyl disc was used. Okay, well that's the only digital on the entire set, Love Me Do, because there was no tape. So this is not from the master tapes all strung together. They made copies of each of these songs and put together a compilation reel, which makes a lot of sense. And this has got the original Love Me Do, For Me to You, Thank You Girl, She Loves You, I'll Get You, I Want to Hold Your Hand, This Boy, Come Gimme Dein Hand, Sie lieb dich, Long Tall Sally, I Can Call Your Name, Slow Down, Matchbook, all the songs that really were on American albums and weren't on a lot of British records for one reason or another. And of course the final song on side 6 is You Know My Name, Look Up the Number, which is my favorite Beatles song for a whole variety of reasons. Anyway, so that's the last record in the box. Okay, so now let's look at the book. And so I'm thinking, you know what I'm thinking? If this sells as well as I think it's going to sell, and once all the stereo records are sold, so what has to happen is then, starting with Abbey Road, just the Abbey Road album, that one, the master tape should come out again, should be cut again, should be released again, all analog, and by then, I think the mastering was solid state. So, however that original was done, it's so spectacular. That should be redone with the glossy cover, etc., etc., just as a test to see how well it does. And then they should go back and do them all over again, all analog, in my opinion. Okay? And then, okay, I know they're not going to do this, but I was thinking, the early albums, stereo, the early albums were cut on tube gear. So why not take the tapes over, just sneak them over to the electric recording company, let them master them from tube gear, the ones that were done on tubes originally, and then those can come out again. And now the people at UME that sent me this are saying, why did we do that? But okay, whatever. So, here's the book. I'm not going to... the book is definitely different than the stereo book. And I'm just looking through it. It looks... wow, there's great pictures in here. Great pictures, great tapes. Looks great. There's going to be a lot to read in here. A lot to read. Wow. Liz, there. Okay. I was in there. I got to step foot in there. I couldn't go too far. I couldn't do it. I stepped a couple of steps in, took a whiff, looked around, and in order to not faint, and I almost I walked out. Now I wish I hadn't walked out, but I did. Okay, so that's the Beatles box in mono. The book looks wonderful. I can't wait to read it. The cover reproduction is, this is the Mixing Console in Studio 2, Abbey Road Studios, September of 1965. So look, those are Altec Lansing Voice of the Theater speakers. In fact, the summer camp I went to had one of those above a giant fireplace. That was the sound system. If you mix to that, there's no way that you're going to get what you get now if you EQ using a modern loudspeaker. Nor would you want to, So I have no doubt that what I'm going to hear tonight, playing these records back, it's not going to sound exactly like the originals. But I'm hoping that it has all the air, all the openness, all the analoginess that the original has. And for anybody who's not experienced with mono, when you hear a good mono mix, like these certainly are, because that mono is how these were originally mixed. That's what the Beatles cared about, because they knew that their fans were listening in mono on the radio and on their little whatever they had for record players. So they cared about the mono mix. There is such depth and dimensionality in the mono mix. You can hear, arguably, you can hear more in the mono mix, because things aren't like spread willy-nilly or voices on one side, music on the other. There's a sense of dimensionality and depth to it, and instrumental separation that people who haven't experienced a lot of mono just can't imagine until they hear it. So anyway, that's the box. Today is a great day. It's very exciting to have this, and unlike the stereo box, I'm really excited to have this and to play it, and I will write this up as soon as I have a chance to listen to all of the records. And I'll write them up one at a time. I will go through each record like I did for the stereo box,